Chapter 11 The 5M Club by Robin Sharma. Navigate the tides of life. The best and most beautiful things in the world cannot be seen or even heard, but must be felt with the heart. Helen Keller. The entrepreneur had learned to sail as a child. She loved the sensations of salt water on her young face and the feeling of freedom that being out on the vast sea brought her spirit. She wondered why she had stopped sailing. In that instant, she also considered why she had given up so many of the pursuit that had brought her so much harmony. And she cherished the fact that in the basics moment, in a small boat gliding through the endless Indian oceans, she was truly open and widely alive. Our culture measures success by how much money we have, the amount of achievement we complete, and how much influence we reach. Yet, thought the entrepreneur, while both the spellbinder and Mr. Rayleigh agree that those victories are important, they have encouraged me to consider how well I am running my life by another series of metrics as well. By my connections with my natural power and by my intimacy with my authenticity and by the vitality around my fellow physicality and by the size of my joy. This seems like a much better way to look at success. Being both accomplished in the world yet peaceful within your myself. Her time at the Spellbinding Conference and her wonderful days here on this pristine island, these people who still look the time to say good morning, smile at strangers and show genuine warmth continued. To inspire and provoke both tiny and large shift in her understanding of the true nature of a productive, prosperous and fulfilling life. The entrepreneur was noticing she was becoming less machine-like and more human. She no longer checked her technology compulsively. She couldn't remember feeling so creative, so available to the miraculous wonder of life. She'd never been so awake to blessing every day on earth brings. And she'd never, or at least the seed couldn't recall time when she had felt so thankful, yes, utterly appreciative for everything she'd experienced. She realized the hard point of her life had strengthened her and made her more insightful, interesting, and wise. A fascinating and richly colorful life is stamped with many scares she began to understand. She promised herself that she'd exploit the challenge she was facing with her investors to raise her grades of courage. The partners' takeover attempts would simply escalate her commitment to define, defending the natural heroism she learned we all have within us at our center beneath the layers of fear, insecurity, and limitations that we all collect as we advance through life. The behavior of her untrustworthy partners would only serve to make her a braver, better, and more decent person. Often, a bad example teaches us more about who we wish to become than a good one could ever provide. And in this world of so many hundred humans beings who have lost access to who they truly are, she vowed to conduct the remainder of her days modeling excellence, resilience, and the utmost of kindness. As the entrepreneur and the artist navigated their little wooden vessels through the waters that were as clear as crystal around coral that could be brutal if struck and further away from the beach where the billionaire had delivered his morning instructions. The entrepreneur spotted the distant land mass where Mr. Riley suggested she and her new love have a picnic. She also detected an ever growing affections for the large man who sat next to her. Though they come from entirely different universes, their chemistry was undeniable. It was if galaxies had collided and though they had different ways of operating. Their compatibility was as nothing she'd experienced before. Her mother had once told her that if you are fortunate enough to fall in love even two or more three times within a lifetime, make each of these stories count fully. Her companion's artistic power intrigued her. His desires to be a great on his own terms attracted her. His occasional hard edge challenged her. His sense of humor amused her. His fallible compassion moved her, and his dark eyes melted her. This was a good idea, the artist said as the entrepreneur adjusted the set of the sail and skillfully directed the boat around boys, some buoys placed there by early morning fishermen. To come out here, away from everything, I needed a break from the learning. I am loving all the information I am getting so much from Mr. Riley, man. He's a treasure, but my head is full. I don't want to think for a while. I just want to have some fun and enjoy life. Being out of here with you is special. Thank you, replied the entrepreneur simply as her hair waved playfully in the wind and her sparkling eyes stayed fixed on the water in front of her. This is the happiest I have seen her looked since I met her at the conference. Though, throughout the artist, he put an arm around the entrepreneur, she didn't retreat in any way, remaining relaxed as their brightly painted vessels ventured deeper into the oceans. After a while, the small island they had been heading toward come into clear focus. The billionaire's team stocked us up front a pretty good picnic. Noted the entrepreneur, how about we drop anchor in the shallow area over there and have a lunch on the white sand part of the beach? The island looked desert aside from the well-fed seagulls, some with live fish dangling from their skinny yellow beaks that soared overhead, and the gigantic turtle ambling along the damp shoreline as though he ruled it. Cool, the artist replied. I'm good with that. He added as he took off his shirt unself-consciously and dove into the water with a wide splashes. The delightful meal the two enjoyed consisted of grilled spicy prawn and fresh mango salad, along with homogeneous chunk of pecorino cheese flown in that morning from Italy. Watermelon mixed with pineapple and kiwi had been provided for a dessert. The entrepreneur said her longing to build one of the world's greatest companies as they savored the food and relaxed in that century of peaceful isolations. She spoke of her desire to build a genuine empire and then perhaps to retire in style to the rustic side of Ibiza. She also confided even more of her pained childhood from the terrible divorce of her parents to the depth of her trauma around the violent passage of her beloved father. She spoke in further detail of the series of failed relationships that had caused her to concentrate most of her time on her works, and the loneliness she felt when she wasn't in the process of advancing her business. Those weren't failed relationships, mused the artist as he munched joyfully on a chunk of watermelon. They made you who you are, right? And I really like who you are, actually, said the artist. Candidly, I love who you are. He leaned over the kiss the entrepreneur. What took you so long to say that? She asked. I don't know. My confidence has been low for a long time, confessed the artist. But the hearing the spellbinder at the seminar and the meeting you and the feeling our amazing wife and then being on his totally insane yet incredible adventures. I don't know. It's making me believe more in myself again. This is all helping me to trust life again. I guess to open up to someone again is great. I should paint later today. Something special is going to show up. I just know it. Yes, you should encourage the entrepreneur. I sense it too. You are going to be hugely successful and a truly legendary painter. And then, after a lengthy pause, she added, I love you too. By the way, the romance of that moment being shared by the two new members of the 5M Club was suddenly broken by the sound of loud hip hop music. The figure could be seen in the water, moving dazzlingly fast, zigzagging, and then racing along straightaways. It soon became evident who this noisy and uninvited intruder was. Stone Riley riding on souped up jet sky and wearing a top that had been strapped to his chin. Yes, a top hat. And if you looked closely, you would see a skull and crossbone symbols on it. The sort that sits on pirate flags. Soon he too was up on the unspoiled beach with the two lovers. Soon he too was eating the prawns and mango salad and wolfing down large piece of the fresh fruit dessert. And soon he was holding hands with the entrepreneur and the artist. This man was a pure oddball, and a most human hero. The entrepreneur and the artist looked at each other as the billionaire did his things. They shook their head, clapped their hand, and laughed easy laughs. Dudes, dudes, shouted the billionaire above the volume of the thumping music as his jet sky bobbed in a swallow water. Missed you too, hope. You don't mind me crashing your picnic? He communicated with the food in his mouth. Without waiting for answers, he turned up the decibel level of the song and sang along to the word. Grandly tuned, right? He asked with all the energy of the planet. Deaf, replied the artist instinctively. I mean, definitely, he corrected. The three companions spent rest of that unforgettable afternoon swimming, singing, dancing, and talking. That evening of the billionaire hosted the magnificent dinner out on his beach, which was lit with tiki torches, cream-colored lanterns, and what you would have guessed were thousands of candles. A long wooden table draped with a finest of lines supported platters of exquisitely prepared food. The spellbinder also appeared at the banquet, swapping stories with the billionaires, while a few of Mr. Raleigh other friends showed up later to play the bangos, share in fabulous meal, and sip some fine wine. Even the ultra professional and the exceptionally hospitable Hospitable attendants were encouraged to join the festivities. It was all surreal and special. For an instant, the entrepreneur reflected on the preciousness of the evening and recalled a quote her father had placed on the door of the family phrase. It was from Dale Carnegie, the self-help author, and it read. One of the most tactic things I know about human nature is that all of us tend to put off living. We all dreaming some of magical rose garden over the horizon instead of enjoying the rose of that are blooming outside of our windows today. The entrepreneur smiled. The entrepreneur smiled to herself. She realized she would postpone living fully no more. She had not only fallen in love with a good man, she was beginning to experience a lavish lust for lifestyle. At 5 a.m. the next morning, the sound of the helicopter pierced the the sirens that only present itself at that hour of the day. The entrepreneur and the artist waited on the beach and they had promised the billionaire they would. They held hands tightly and awaited the next lessons he told them he'd share. But the billionaire was nowhere to be found. An assistant wearing a crisp shirt the color of the sky and pressed Bermuda shirts, Bermuda shorts and hue of the tomato, and the red leather sandal ran down from the home of the titan of industry. Bonjour, she said in the highly polished way. Mr. Ali was requested that I escort you to his helipad. He has a huge gift for you both, but you will need to hurry, please. We are on strict timeline. The three of them scrambled along the beach and up groomed trail through lush tree, passed on herb garden with wooden sinks containing quotes from the famous leaders as well as one that said, trespassers will be composted. And finally to an expensive manicured meadows at the center of sat gleaming helicopter with its rotor wearing against the radiance of the early morning lightfall. Inside the aircraft a single pilot could be seen. He wore avatar glass, a black flat brimmed baseball cap and all black uniform. As his passengers were led inside, the pilot remained silent, manipulated the control and writing on what appeared to be a detailed checklist attached to the scuff of clipboard. But the phrase rise and shine so you will escape the misery of mediocrity, written at top in red. A smiley face emoji was evident below this line. Good morning, said the entrepreneur enthusiastically to the pilot. Where Mr. Alice? The pilot didn't answer. He tuned a dial, twigged a knob, and made another tick mark on the white page. Good luck and have a safe flight. You too, announced the assistant as he adjusted the seat belts and placed the headphones with a microphone snugly onto the head of the VIP guest. Where the heck we are going? Demanded the artist. Reverting to the angry man status, no reply. The door shut with a thud, then locked with a click. The engine noise grew louder and the propeller accelerated its rotation. Hoo 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 went the sound. The pilot, seemingly in some sort of import imperturbable stance. Certainly not all friendly, pushed the control stick. The helicopter began to rise above the grassy field. Unexpected, the aircraft tilted to the left dramatically, then it descended aggressively towards the earth in a free fall before jerking upward again. Totally disaster, shouted the artist. This pilot is incompetent. I hate him. Just breathe, all will be well. Reasoned the entrepreneur. She looked relaxed, secure, and in complete control. Her morning training was working. She pulled the artist closer to her. I am here. Well, safe. This will be ended. And well. Soon the helicopter was high in the sky and moving steadily, efficiently, and gracefully. The quiet pilot fiddled with a dials and tinkered with a control, seemingly obviously oblivious to fact he carried two passengers. I have seen that watch before, observed the artist as he sipped a big timepiece on the pilot's lean wrist. Some one stone had on the spellbinder presentations. This nuts, he stated in the quivering voice. The Pentas was sweating like a polar bear in heat wave. Own your morning, elevate your life. Came to singing voice from the front of the helicopter. His cat Bonjour, enjoying being member of the 5M club this morning. He questioned in the raspy tone, boy, oh boy, you gonna love the surprising that's coming. Another country from another license, the morning routine of legendary leaders, creative genius and the great women and men of the world. The pilot turned his head around radically and whipped off his sunglasses instantly. Then he let out the monumental verb. It was the billionaire. Hey people, I didn't mean to scare you. Two glorious human beings. I do have my helicopter pilot's license, you know, said Mr. Riley, sincerely, almost apologetically. Sure, remarked the artist, still clinging to the entrepreneur like a gambler holding his last chip. Got it years ago, the billionaire continued, helicopter are uber cool. But with all my business ventures these days, I don't get in the airtime I used to. Sorry for the rough lift off. I guess I need more practice. So where are we going? The entrepreneur asked. She eased into her supple leather seat. Agra was the billionaire one word answers. What does mean? Asked the artist. What's an Agra? I'm talking you guys back to the airport, said the billionaires. Gotta keep us moving on these once in a lifetime adventures we are on. We are leaving Mauritius, wondered the entrepreneur with disappointed. Her bracelets dangled and knocked against each other as she said this. What about everything you still have to share with us? The artist asked. We still haven't learned the 20-20-20 formula you say will revolutionize our life. You told us that it's a pretty much the foundation of the 5A method. I have been waiting to learn it. Argued the artist, punching a fist into a hand against. And really loved Mauritius. I wasn't really to leave. So do I, agreed the entrepreneur. I thought you promised us you'd get into a detailed tactic around what to do after we get up at 5 am. And the spellbinded conference, you promised that you'd share practical productivity hacks so I could scale up my business, and some key technique to build my own fortune. And me and my man only had one picnic together, and you crashed it with your loud music and your pimped up jet sky. No one spoke for a moment, then slowly everyone in the helicopters began to giggle. Relax, guys. Hold the billionaires. My home is your home. You can come back to Mauritius anytime you want. I'll send the same drivers and the same jet, and I'll make sure you feel the same love from me and my awesome team. No sweet, happy to be helpful always. He adjusted another dial before adding, I have got a plane waiting for us on the runway right now. You love word have been tremendous students, absolutely first rate. You have embraced the spellbinder teaching. You have been up with the sun and on time every morning. I haven't seen all your progress, so I wanted to give you a great present today. A present? The artist queried. I'll need to get back to my studio at home pretty soon. I've got some serious restructuring of my craft and fixing of my life to do after all this. And I'll need to be at my company soon. And the entrepreneur said some of the worry lines returned to her forehead as he pronounced these words through. There were fewer than before she had joined the club, 5M Club. Well, not yet, guys, not yet, please. Uh, please, pleaded the billionaires. We are going to Agra. I have no idea where that is, admitted the entrepreneur. Agra in the India, the billionaire explained. I am taking you to see one of the 7 wonders of the world and get set to learn the next part of the 5M method. Everything you have learned so far has been preparation for all that's coming. Lock and load, dudes. We are now ready to get into the advanced information to help you drive exponential productivity, maximum performance, legendary leaderships, and towering life that upgrades the world. Get set the receive the most practical informations you could ever learn on the morning routine of the world builders and history makers. The best is about to come. The billionaire expertly landed the helicopter next to the pristine private jet and had its turbine running. Unlike the first time, this aircraft was all black. But like the one of that brought the two students to Mauritius, it had 5 AC emblazoned on the tail, also in a hue of orange similar to the mandarin. Let's go to the incredible India, exclaimed the billionaires energetically. Let's go them, replied the entrepreneur and the artist. One of the most valuable experiences of their extraordinary escapade with the Stone Riley eccentric magnet was about to begin. Now this chapter has been ended. We'll again come to the next chapter.